And we're back. It's time for the Richard Fowler re-up. And as always, during this 6 minutes of each and every week, we're joined by the one and only Lauren Burke with her 365 on La Capitol Hill. Lauren, welcome to the show, Lauren.
Yeah, thanks for having me, as usual. I come from Brooklyn, New York today.
Hey, listen, Brooklyn, New York, I think at this point is better than being on the Hill.
Yeah, it's because no one's there, right? Yeah.
So what is going on? Obviously they're on August recess, so there's still a lot of movement happening.
Yeah, even though no one's there's a lot of communication back and forth, to say the least. This week, Arnie Duncan sent a letter to the chair of the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, Marcia Fudge, with regard to what he saw as a fix to the Parent Plus loan problem, which she did not view as a fix to the Parent Plus loan problem. And so basically what he wants to do, to make a long letter short, is kind of make it easier for students' parents who have been declined for the PLUS loan in the past. And Marcia Fudge and the CBC and HBU advocates are arguing that you should go back to what you did before you looked at people's credits for credit history from 4 months to 5 years, which of course you got a ton of declines on that one. So they wanted to go back to what it was before the Department of Education started to fool around with this, and that caused 200,000 kids across the country to get a decline letter. So it was an active week, actually, on that front.
So now, because I think folks don't know, so let's just sort of play through how this all went down, because I think we talked about it before on the show, but I think it's just very important that we sort of go through the steps here. So before, when you got a Parent Plus loan, all you had to have was 4 months of credit history, and that's what determined you have to have no delinquencies or bankruptcies or defaults in 4 months prior to applying for the Parent Plus loan.
Right.
And the Department of Education, so I'm not going to lie to you, Lauren, I understand why they did it. It doesn't make much sense, but I get it. Like, they were trying to sort of curb the student loan debt crisis. Like, well, maybe if we make the threshold higher, will limit the amount of money that's being borrowed. But I don't think they thought about the externalities of, if we limit the amount of money that's going out by increasing the threshold, we also limit people's access to college.
Right, and one of the other arguments about extending the credit look to 5 years is that, wow, you've got all this debt when you come out, and it's just really not right to pile on debt for you. But I don't know about that argument. I think that most people understand, and parents understand, that they want to have their kid get through college, and that college degree allows them to then pay back the loan. That's the whole deal. So I actually don't understand why they extended it, and I think that what it really points to is the probable fact that there are no HBCU grads working in the White House who could have raised their hand and said, look, if you do this, it's going to disproportionately affect historically black colleges and universities. I like Harvard. You like Harvard, obviously. It would have been wonderful to go to Harvard or Yale. I think this White House has too many people in it who don't come from other universities other than Harvard, quite frankly. And I think that this is one of the downsides of that. I mean, obviously we know Harvard is one of the best schools in the world. We understand that. But these are the moments when 28,000 kids are affected from HBCUs, and HBCUs lose $160 million. These are the moments when the whole Harvard thing doesn't work out too well.
Yeah, I think even beyond that point, I mean, at the end of the day, Harvard also has an endowment that is absolutely ridiculous. And people who don't know, at Harvard University, if your parents make what I think it's now under $60,000, you get just a free tuition. You just you just show up at school.
That's right. Exactly.
Unfortunately, a lot of our HBCUs and our smaller colleges and liberal arts universities, they just don't have the ability, because they don't have a donor culture like that, of all the people work at the White House.
HBCUs are taking on a special mission that schools like Harvard are not taking on, which is taking on students that may not have a perfect academic record coming out of high school, at-risk students, harder cases, and that mission means that their students are not going to come in perfectly, but it gives somebody an opportunity for a higher education to move up from the lower class to the middle class. That person may be a first generation graduate, and that mission is important. So people have to remember that too.
No, you make a good point. I don't deny the facts here, and I think that is where, that's the problem. I think that's the disconnect. that we sort of have when it comes to this type of stuff. And I mean, I will say this, I give some credit to the president for speaking out on the student loan debt crisis this week, but I don't know, I mean, given this Parent Plus situation and given the fact that there's $1.2 trillion of student loan debt out there, the president hasn't really done enough.
Yeah. Well, the president said a few things today that are kind of red flags, actually. I mean, I do love the fact that he brought up the topic in general, but when I hear things like taxpayers shouldn't subsidize students who may not complete, that's a red flag. I know he's probably talking about gainful employment in University of Phoenix, but he's also talking about other schools, too, that are not University of Phoenix, that may not have good completion rates. So that speech has to really be looked over quite closely.
I hear you. Well, Lauren Burke, we appreciate you all the way from Capitol Hill. Thanks for being on the Fowler Show.